चलो यहीं से कर लेता हूँ.
मैं सोच रहा था एक राजेश को कॉल कर देता हूँ, एटलीस्ट ही कैन बी ऑन
हाँ
फोन
हाँ
इफ ही इज अवेलेबल एट हिज.
या अगर वो फ्री है तो इधर आ जाओ दीपक, क्या उनको. आपने पढ़ लिया वो, मैंने जो मिस किया था. इज इट ओके? So these are the discussions, I
So
think,
there
which
is
is
this
very
one question from Sudhakar, which we can, I think, answer before we go to discussion. Everybody further question.
Sri Ramana Maharshi says, I remove I and yet remain I. Could you comment on this?
See, this issue of I has been a big problem with the Advaita Advaitic perception, because we can't really figure out what he meant by that I. Obviously, it doesn't mean the personal I. It means the impersonal pure consciousness, most probably, which I can understand. Impersonal pure consciousness. And so sometimes it means by I the personal ego. So by after removing the ego, also the impersonal consciousness, pure consciousness will remain. So probably that is the meaning. It is anybody's guess what he meant really. What sounds logical to me is only this, that I have removed the personal ego, and still that impersonal pure consciousness awareness remains. And they probably use the word self or I for that also, so that creates a confusion. They use the I for, because I read one of that book which he had given, Osborne. There also I think he has mentioned somewhere that they use the word I in both the contexts, in the conventional context as well as in the context of pure consciousness. So that sometimes creates confusions. Therefore, that's why I prefer to put it as not I am that, but there is that. That I think is more easily acceptable.
So there is an issue of semantics basically कि वो जो I का जो जिक्र है अद्वैता में, more than Advaita in the way Sri Ramana and his disciples use language, उस I का तात्पर्य दोनों है.
दोनों ही. अब वो किस समय क्या है वो हमको समझ होनी चाहिए.
But I also remember when you were showing me Osborne that actually if we read it with attention, then we are able to perhaps penetrate.
We can figure out.
क्या कह रहा है?
Figure out. If we read it carefully. For example, in Buddha's discourses, so many times you find, attai, attano, natho. अब इसको translate कर दो. Atta means me, self. You are yourself. You are your own Lord. Koi natho parosiya. Who else is your Lord? Now, if you interpret atta in that literal, it is meant as a conventional language. It is not meant in the absolute sense that there is an atta. Some people have translated this also to say that Buddha is saying there is a soul. There are people who say that because they translate atta ka matlab is a self. Yourself is your master. He says, yeah, it is. This is what we are also saying. Now it is a question of seeing the thing in, an enlightened person is not bothered about the philosophical connotations of that. He's talking to a person. He's not writing a thesis on philosophy. He's talking to a person and उसको तो यही समझ आएगा कि भाई तुम ही अपने नाथ हो, तो उन्होंने कहा अत्ता ही तो नाथ हो.
So that was also dependent on the recipient of that teaching.
It is always dependent on that. All teachings of Buddha have that paradox, because you can always see. To some you will say effort करते जाओ, कैसे नहीं करोगे. To others you will say there is emptiness, there is nothing. If we try to mix up them together, don't see the context, we can draw wrong conclusions. Same thing I think must be happening with Advaita, because many of the people have taken Advaita to be a philosophical system and made it into a philosophical system, and therefore not made it into a investigative system of investigating the nature of reality. But some have done it, and probably they are on the right path. I hope so. It's very difficult to figure out what does a person mean when he says so.
And so Sudhakar so additionally mentioned that this Abhidhamma model of explanation really helps to avoid this confusion.
Yeah, certainly.
And yet, if we only, in my experiences, if we only look at it and as a intellectual exercise, then one can get confused even with with this.
People can overlook it. You see, Lady Sayadaw, who is supposed to be our great grandfather of the whole tradition, he says you study Abhidhamma and then you should meditate. So all those people who today, presently, advocate study of Abhidhamma and then meditation, they take their reference from Lady Sayadaw. So it's a different perception, that's all, is it? Perceptions change, and perceptions of same person's views can be interpreted differently by different people. So what is right is for us to figure out. And the best thing is that we practice and find out. That is the best thing. No, in Buddha's teaching there is a mention of Anidassana Vijnana. You remember we had asked it to Ajahn Sumedho, and Ajahn Sumedho clearly mentions in his book very clearly. There is no ambiguity, nothing. Consciousness is one. He says very clearly. Finished. And he also mentions that there is a sense sphere consciousness and there is a pure awareness. Now, orthodox Theravada people don't agree. No, it is your choice what you want to follow.
But Ajahn Jnana himself said something different.
Yeah. He said, no, consciousness is only sense sphere consciousness, 6. But the Ajahn Sumedho says that. Ajahn Chah also says that. See the interesting thing. If you study Ajahn Chah thoroughly, you find, I vividly remember, I can even trace that again. In one of the discourses, yes, we talk of as consciousnesses as 6, but actually they are only 1. This is my way of speaking because they operate through these senses. Now it's a matter of really not getting trapped in the wordings. So when the Buddha talks of Anidassana Vijnana, then orthodox Theravada people say it has remained an enigma, what is meaning. So you've just given up, that's all. But Ajahn Sumedho says that his meaning is clear to me. This is what it means. Now what do we do? It doesn't matter. Actually it doesn't matter really. As long as we practice Satipatthana properly, things will reveal themselves. Even Satipatthana says, Yavadeva Jnanamattaya Satimattaya Nisthitocha Viharati. That you continue to practice till such time as Yavadev Satimattaya Jnanamattaya. Till such time as there is knowledge, there is awareness. Nothing. There is no I who is doing this. So there is obviously the dimension of pure awareness. Just awareness. Where there is awareness and knowledge of what is being coming in the field of awareness. When that notion of I as the person who is being aware is extinguished. Only then Buddha says he will be either a anagami or fully enlightened.
And that is within actually our sense of, it is within our experience, at least for brief moments.
Bilkul.
So we are able to transcend the theory into our own experience. And
see, we generally have that understanding, कि मैं तो बहुत ही गुस्से वाला स्वभाव वाला हूँ, तो हमने वो गुस्सा पर्सनली ले लिया, एज इफ मैं हमेशा गुस्सा ही करता रहता हूँ. ऐसा तो नहीं होता ना. Our chitta sometimes exhibits anger, sometimes it exhibits fear, sometimes exhibits. But there are moments within all our everybody's experience when chitta is pure. There is neither craving, there is neither aversion, it's peaceful. We have such moments, otherwise we would all become crazy.
लेकिन उन मोमेंट्स की हमें अवेयरनेस नहीं
होती है, but उनको हम recognize नहीं करते. We don't become aware of them.
पता नहीं चलता कि कब
we should be aware. We should be thankful. We should be grateful that yes, we are having that experience. So when we give importance to that, then we'll give less importance to these things, and then we'll see that mind is changing every moment. We have studied Abhidhamma, ऐसी तैसी कर दी उन्होंने तो mind की. एक mental moments में बता रहे हैं आपको, प्रतिक्षण जागता है. अभी गुस्सा जागा, अभी मैत्री भी जाग जाएगी, अभी ये भी जाग जाएगा. Don't take Maitri personally, don't take Gussa personally. It's all right. It is a conditioned phenomena. So if you can dissociate from it, you'll be liberated virtually. There's nothing else in it. That is the path to liberation. What else? You don't take these things personally. That's why I've been so much impressed by these statements of Ajahn Sumedho, that if you start and meditate with the idea that you are a person and you have so many defilements and you have to remove them, failure is assured. You can keep on meditating for years, for lifetimes, because there is no I who will ever get enlightened. Now this is a very profound insight which we omit, which we think nahi baad mein dekhenge. This is the beginning of it actually. Today while meditating in the morning, it just occurred to me that it is so clearly explained by the Buddha himself, you see, that the first fetter is Sakkaya Ditthi, Shilabhata Paramarsh, Vicikitsa. So even a Shrotapanna has craving and aversion. Sakdagami has craving and aversion. He has not given it up. So to remove craving and aversion, Sakkaya Ditthi is a prerequisite. How can you remove craving and aversion without Sakkaya Ditthi? Because you can't move in that direction. The path is from Sotapanna to Sakdagami to Anagami and to Arahant. So first one has to become Sotapanna. No? So first one has to overcome Sakkaya Ditthi. Then only he can move further. How can we say कि मैं देखते देखते राग निकाल दूंगा, द्वेष निकाल दूंगा, फिर मैं देखूंगा कि मेरी अहम का भाव कम होगा कि नहीं? It is against the teaching of Buddha. We are not understanding this. He is himself telling you these are the 9 fetters and this is first 3 fetters are omitted. Only when first 3 fetters are finished, then only you can remove craving and aversion.
So right view is the first step actually.
Yeah. That is the very first step. Buddha himself put down Samma Ditthi as the first step. But from practical purposes we try to put, भाई हमें शिविर करना है, लोगों को ले जाना है, तो उसको सम्मा दिट्ठी बात कहेंगे तो ऐसे कंफ्यूज हो जाएगा. चलो उसको पहले शील का बात कहोगे, शील का पालन करो, बिकॉज दैट इज द बेस. शील का पालन करोगे तभी आगे बढ़ पाओगे, साधना तभी कर पाओगे. सो दैट इज अंडरस्टैंडिंग. दैट इज ए प्रैक्टिकल कुशल उपाय फॉर ए मेडिटेशन कोर्स. वेरी गुड. But that does not mean that Samma Ditthi will arise after craving and aversion have ended. It's not possible. It's against the teaching of Buddha. So it suddenly occurred to me, I don't know how, it is a little clearer. Why are we disputing and discussing and seeing कि Ajahn Sumedho ने कुछ अलग सी बात कह दी है और बाकी लोग नहीं कह रहे हैं तो वो गलत हो गया, ये इसमें कुछ पता नहीं ठीक है कि नहीं है.
It is inherent in the.
It is inherent in the teaching of Buddha, in the path, in the root itself. It is inherent in the root. Sakkaya Ditthi आगे नहीं बढ़ जाएगी तो आगे शील और जो even Sakdagami has craving and aversion. He's only reduced it substantially. Only in Anagami craving aversion is reduced, completely eliminated. So we think that we'll remove craving and aversion first and then we'll get. How can you do it? It's not possible. Buddha is telling you, no, ऐसा नहीं होगा. नहीं, हम तो ऐसे ही करेंगे, कर लो. This is what Ajahn Sumedho is effectively telling.
Yes. And so Dhaka is also saying, wow, Sakkaya Ditthi first, then Raga, then Dosa.
Yeah, correct.
No, but it's true.
It's quite obvious. Buddha is saying, it just occurred, it struck me here. हम हमेशा डाउट करते आ रहे थे कि हम तो पता नहीं ये Ajahn Sumedho कहते रहते हैं.
The issue is not Ajahn Sumedho.
It's not issue of Ajahn Sumedho, it is issue of Buddha himself. He has put it very clearly, and a person like him has captured it, and he is putting it in a manner which seems so out of the ordinary कि सारी दुनिया कुछ कह रही है, ये कुछ और कह रहा है. He is starting from the end, isn't it? We get a perception कि he is starting from the end, but he is so confident, he keeps on hammering it. वो तब कहते हैं मैं दूसरे दिन भी कह देते हैं. Then he says मैं दूसरे दिन ही आपको कह रहा हूँ, चलो कोई बात नहीं.
So this is good. One personal advice which Dhaka needs, that if I choose to meditate a long course, would it be better to do it in Dhamma Tapovan or Dhamma Bodhi?
Really, both are equally good places. both are equally good places. Dambabodhi being proximity of Bodh Gaya may have better environment, I don't know, but it may have. But in the initial parts when Dambabodhi was set up, there were disasters in the Dambabodhi. I don't want to frighten him. That's it.
But now the
Things are better.
center, yeah. It's a good center.
बोल गया मैं।
Maybe since we've put Rajesh on the
Hold. So let's discuss
get
that.
through that discussion
Yeah.
and then we can come back.
Let us come to that discussion.
So, may you remind me of the first point?
First point was about the Ajahn Amaro.
For the November retreat. So I just summarize basically what happened in Bodh Gaya. We had in fact gone with the purpose of paying respects and meeting the monks that many of us had met here in January, I think it was December. So there was a group of monks traveling from Wat Nanachat here, accompanied by lay followers. So they were on a pilgrimage. So we were able to pay respects to them in Bodh Gaya and also discuss several things with respect to taking forward the practice of experienced lay meditators in India. So there were two major outcomes. एक तो ये है that as many of us know, we've been trying to set up a retreat with one of the forest masters in India. We are trying to have Lumpho Sumedo do it, but his own engagements and health mean that there may be still some time by when that
He will
happens.
come only in February, I think.
Of 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
So the abbot of Nanachat, Ajahn Kevali, actually immediately remembered that Ajahn Amaro, who's the abbot of Amravati, is going to be here in November in connection with the Tipitika chanting that happens in Bodh Gaya at that time. So one possibility that is opening up is for us to do a retreat with led by Ajahn Amaro along the lines of what we were thinking for Ajahn Sumedho. So that's one major thing that's come up, and Ajahn Kevali is going to help make that connection and contact. So that opportunity might be presenting itself much earlier than we had expected and hoped. And also our thinking was that the idea is to bring the forest masters and forest tradition to India to help our own practice. So one of our purposes was to then scout around through the method of discussion कि और ऐसे लोग कौन हो सकते हैं जो
इस पर्सपेक्टिव से, अनंतता के पर्सपेक्टिव से पढ़ाते हैं.
especially ये चीज़ जो अभी उठ के आई that without the right view, you can keep plowing the field and you're not going to get much. So that was the first outcome. And the second thing was quite an inspiration from Darsa, which was to begin a conversation with them about the establishment of a monastery of the Ajahn Chah lineage in India. And it so happened that Ajahn Kevali himself had mentioned about this during this trip to other monks. So this thought was put forward to the senior monks whom we met, and one amongst them is very keen on India himself. His name is Ajahn Yaniko. He's a monk of I think 16 rains retreats, 14 rains retreats.
From Avagiri, Sudhakar's land.
And he's currently at Nanachat. So the summary is that it was suggested to us that we put the proposal forward to be considered during the International Elders meeting, which will take place in May in Amravati. Essentially inviting the Sangh to set up a monastery in India which would be supported by the lay followers, which basically means all of us. So now the question in front of us is that अगर हमें ये proposal रखना है, then it has to go beyond our good intention, and there will be a lot of specifics to that, including the formalization of a group, number one, and number two of technical logistics like location, land, money, and so on and so forth. So the point today was for us to maybe put our minds together and for the rest of us, especially Rajesh and others who are in America but regular and a close part of our group, to share their own perspective on this, because it's going to mean that a lot of us are going to have to commit to time
effort, and money,
and effort,
and collecting money.
So Rajesh, would you like to go first since you are remote?
I think on the couple of points, the November retreat is a great thing, and I think we should definitely make a formal request to Ajahn Asro to extend his pay and do a retreat for us. And we could do the retreat maybe somewhere close to Delhi, or we could even go to Lucknow, because we know that place is already suitable for a retreat kind of stuff. Or we could find some place in Delhi. So I think November 1 should definitely be, we should pursue that. For the monastery, as you mentioned, this will be a much bigger thing than what we have been doing. So I think first thing for us would be to find out what would it take to set up a monastery, and what are the other things that we will need to do. And then let's see if we have all aspects covered from different logistics that you mentioned, and find more volunteers who can devote time also to this. So I don't know what does it need to set up it, because the centers are very different than monasteries. Centers need to be run regularly. You need a lot of human manpower. That monasteries are generally places where monks live. What is the amount of volunteering required to run a monastery? Do monks run it themselves with small help from lay people, or does it require a lot of help in running it, assuming that we set it up initially?
Okay, so maybe I'll just quickly summarize. I'm not sure how much of is Rajesh audible to others who are remote? Okay.
Is Rajendra still online or not?
No, he's not.
Okay.
Maybe you can just answer.
So just a quick. I'll just quickly summarize what Rajesh said, which was that we need clarity.
Yes, so.
Okay. So that's fine.
So let us say your views.
So I think overall it's good if setting up of a monastery happens. So there are a lot of unknowns right now. So let's try to understand them one by one. And as Rajesh is pointing out, what does it take to set up, and what does it take to run the monastery? How much of volunteering support happens? That I think we should try to understand. And then yes, so with volunteering we will possibly need more volunteers, and then identify the steps required. So one of the what is the bare minimal thing which we need to get it done for the May event? That I think we need
जो चिट्ठी भेजनी
हाँ
है
चिट्ठी में I think that's a good point.
Yeah, so that
I'll try to answer that. Let's go one by one. I'll first like to listen to everybody.
okay.
हाँ जी आप बताइए.
मैं क्या बताऊँ?
नहीं आपको भी तो विचार सुनने चाहिए और
मनुष्य तो सेट होनी चाहिए. अच्छा है, ध्यान करेंगे.
I also think जो Deepak is saying is like we should go with that.
आप बताइए आपका क्या विचार है.
I think it's a huge effort, and we will have to assess the human resource that we have first of all.
जी
That is the most important thing. I have no idea about it. But I would think human resource is very, very important, and definitely the financial resource follows.
that's
कहने तो ये दो चीजें खड़ी होंगी तुरंत.
let us listen to
इसके बाद
One
आगे
question which Sudhakar has raised about setting up the monasteries, forest tradition means it has to be real forest, far away from urban areas.
कई वैसे कर
it has to be it has to be
और ये-
there are cases where in Thailand forest has been developed.
yeah so they started from
They started from
nothing.
plain land. Actually, not even one tree.
If you remember, Ajahn Anek's monastery was
Ajahn Anek's monastery,
हम
that
बाद में पेड़ वेड़ लगा के जंगल बना देंगे.
they created a forest of their own.
But it should be little far away from the city.
Yeah, of course, that is true.
Just Greater Noida is best place.
Yeah, it should be little far away, but it cannot be in total wilderness.
It's a big piece of land, means it has to be far away.
Yeah, it has to be big, not small. Now, let us ask our online friends what are their opinion. उनके भी सुन लेना.
So Sudhakar and Deepti, can you share any more opinions if you have?
Any specific queries?
And like, what about their meals with your arms around
Ah,
we don't have.
We'll see. Yes.
आसपास गाँव भी देखना
Ajahn Sumedho can go to England and hope to get a meal.
surely here it is possible.
Surely he'll get it here also.
Systems will emerge gradually.
उनका they are writing.
Deepti is writing. In the meantime, Sudhakar had one more question about how many people are expected to participate in a 10-day retreat. If it happens in a
Yeah, that will depend on the place what we can get, but not more than 60, I think 50, 60. Because for one teacher, more than that will be too much.
60 भी ज्यादा है मुझे तो लगता है.
But नहीं वो लोग they
Well,
are
they did 90 this
they
time.
did 90 also,
अच्छा.
but that was 2 people actually.
Yeah.
But maybe Ajahn Amro also has a
So it's Ajahn Amro will most
Will
likely
have-
travel with his upatak.
we'll have a assistant with him.
Or
Also.
Khar, Ajahn Dhar is of course always
He's a
there.
senior person now. His teachings and are quite similar to that of Ajahn Sumedho, so I think it will be good as a precursor.
We did ask some of these questions, and I think we have some understanding.
Yeah, I'll
maybe
share
you
them.
can-
I mean, here we have summarized it in 5 minutes. We I think spent a few hours, and not only that. After having one set of discussions, that when I was about to sleep, thak thak, please come out. He wants to talk to you.
अच्छा आप तब सोने चले गए थे जब बुलाया था आपको. अच्छा, I see. I didn't realize that. So he told me that he was meditating through the day, and these things came up during his meditation.
Yeah, I could
Which is
see
a
that he is-
great omen.
It's a great the sincerity with which he took up
Yeah.
this, and even Ajahn Achalo, and they are both very senior monks, and
अभी तो हमने ट्यूडोंग का जिक्र नहीं किया.
हम बाद में कर लेना. वो तो तुम्हारा ही है ना.
So Deepti is saying that the intention is agreeable. Usually when we start with such intention, things start unfold gradually. We don't know as of now how much resources may be required. Gradually similar energies will start to align.
Very good. Happy to hear that.
And okay, so Doctor is typing something, so we can wait.
Rajesh, are you able to hear that?
He's not there.
Oh, है क्या?
गया होगा.
तो बेचारे को पहले तो हमने 15 मिनट लटका दिया.
contributed his own.
Rajesh, you are there? Maybe mute.
Or maybe he's put his mic on mute.
Yeah, I was on mute. I could hear it only partially.
Yes, so the comment from Deepthi was the intention is agreeable. Usually when we start with such intentions, things start to unfold gradually. We don't know as of now how much resources may be required. Gradually similar energies will start to align.
Yeah, that's good.
उधर बनाओ.
Okay. So we are just waiting for Sudhakar. He's typing something. Yeah. So this is not related with this monastery discussion. So I'll ask this question in the end. Okay. एक बार अपने राजेश अपने आप को म्यूट पे कर लेना.
तो ट्रैक्टर कैसे चल रहा है उसके पीछे?
घर में कुछ भी हो जाए.
अगर में मिक्सी भी चलेगी तो ऐसी आवाज आएगी ना.
लीजिए दर्शक आप बताइए. You might summarize.
See, the first statement is that we are not going to do it. It will happen if it has to. When I went from here, I had no intention of saying anything. We had gone with the intention of doing Sangadana and paying respects and spending some time with them. That's all. There was no intention of anything. We didn't know about Ajahn Amru. I didn't pre-plan that I should go and talk to him about
Monastery.
Though I had, I think, mentioned here in our group, even there, when we had gone to Ratnavan, that how nice it would be if we had such a thing there. That has been my somehow desire arising for a long time. Also because of the need for a very pristine Sangha in India, which really follows Vinaya and becomes an example. You know, when you do Sanghanusati, you can do it only when you see somebody, some people who are really living up to the ideals of the Sangha as set by Bhagavan. So I see it as a thought which has arisen because of various conditions which have been building up over the years, and the conditions of our association here, conditions of our liking for forest tradition, conditions of our meeting monks, our going to Wat Papawang, Wat Nanachar, Ratnavan, and getting impressed by them, listening to Jnaniko talk about Longpur Liam. So amazing, you know, and mention about his being a fully enlightened person, or mentioning about Ajahn Sumedho and our own experience with him. So, you know, a chanda has been arising that it will be nice if we can do some help in setting up of this kind of a thing somewhere in India. I don't know where, I don't know how, I don't know where will money come from, which place, no idea. But there is an intention, that's all. And as we have been studying Adipati Pachayo, Chanda Adipati is the beginning of it. If you have strong intention, that itself will lead to strong virya. We are quite clear about Mimamsa. I think with reasonable level of wisdom to see that we don't get trapped, and reasonable level of chitta, concentration of mind. Our practice is reasonably good enough to take us forward in this path. So I look at it like that. The thought has arisen, a wholesome thought, a chanda, which is wanting virya. Has to fall in place. If the time is ripe, it will fall. If the time is not ripe, it will not happen. But since so many conditions are there, you know, they seem to be all falling in place all of a sudden. I can't expect, I didn't expect anything. And we have seen so many such coincidences happen, isn't it, there for last so many times. visits here and there. We didn't expect Ajahn Nyanigo to be so positive about it. And not only that, he said many monks in America have a great affinity to India and want that something should happen in India. And they all know that state of our country and state of the Sangha in our country. And they wish that they should contribute. He says they'll be happy to do it. So maybe it is the time for this to happen, but we have to all make a resolve first. If we all make a resolve, then we can move in that direction. And the first step to move in that direction will be to formalize a group. That will first step in the form a trust or something and form certain people. This all that is needed. We give some, starts with some bank account. All those things are necessary. And then we start scouting. We can start looking for place, thinking about it, reflecting, seeing what are the places we will obviously like. It to be near Delhi. It could be somewhere in Greater Noida. It could be far off. Other goes, but we in fact even discussed this with Ajahn Nyanigo. He said, come on, we'll see in the Google map. Kahan hai tumhara? And a place near Aravali, ahead of Faridabad and Gurgaon would be another one. So that is, there are mountainous regions and it can be contagious to that, so that we have in the foothills and the mountain is available for free. So now it has to be a matter of scouting. We go around. आप वो बना दो ना
कौन सी
क्या हुआ
अब तो बनाने में लिफ्ट रखने के लिए
अच्छा
तो बनाने में तो आप मखना
उसमें पड़े हैं मैं देता हूँ
तो ले रहे हैं सर
उसमें छोटे गोल डब्बे में रखता हूँ. So Rajesh, maybe I'll try and respond to some of the specific things that you had spoken about. What it really needs to begin with, and we have Amravati and George Sharp's example in front of us, is the existence of a group in the country that is willing to make that invitation. And again, if you remember Amravati, I mean, really a bulk of the work was done, including construction, etc., by the monks themselves. Now, I'm not saying that that's exactly how it will be or should be, but I don't. As I see it, there isn't so much expectation in inverted commas in the Sangh at all.
Not at all.
There is only the expectation of a heart-based desire amongst people.
No expectation.
So I don't think they have any expectation at all. Having said that, obviously
we have our understanding.
No, why don't you? I've summarized really what was in my mind. So as I see it, and I function very similarly to how Darsa was saying it, is that we could move ahead with the intention and let things unfold from that point onwards. To start with, a core group that's willing to put some amount of time and effort together, I think, would be needed, because even scouting for the land would have to happen, So I think so. Initially, there are issues around infrastructure, mainly, and so if we can ensure some of that, then for the May meeting, for our proposal, for our invitation rather to go, that should be good enough. Of course, we are assuming that the Wat Pah Pong will want to set up something here. We are assuming that, but maybe if we can put our own intention in the right place, then we can go forward.
So maybe I think we can identify 2 or 3 next steps rather than trying to see everything and just try to first work that, and then we take next step again, the next step. So
first step is to formalize the group. Second step is that we go around picnics.
What does formalizing the group mean?
Form a trust of some people who are willing to put effort, time, money.
Using the trust.
Because the letter has to be written in a formal manner. And this is what I mean, and I can understand. Ajahn Nainigo called me again for that very purpose. That it should be done in that manner, which I very deeply appreciate. That's the way it should be done.
But I don't know how much time it takes to form a
I don't know
trust.
that. It does not mean that when we get the approval of it, we just
No, what I'm saying is that once we have some steps taken, then we can form a trust. Forming a trust should be the first step.
yeah, it should be the first step for writing an invitation. Because we want to
But invitation
request-
has to go in the mail.
Yeah, but we have to first send it to Ajahn Kevali, and maybe he'll want us to do some rewriting, all that. We don't know. We don't have to do it immediately. We can send it to him in March, after a month also, but not later than that. Because he may also. I have incidentally sent a filler to Ajahn Ashoka also. Today, in his last mail, I replied to him. I said, I will not bother you now. I said, we'll curb our impatience and wait till February. But then I shared with him this, and I had a question about this issue of Anidassana Vijnana. I said, you please ask Ashoka to Lumpur Sumedo to settle it down for us once for all. And I mentioned about this possibility of wish that we are trying to gather courage to and enter into that venture.
Invite.
So we like to do it within a few weeks certainly, because
Okay.
Ajahn Kevali is busy. He's mentioned that he doesn't see his emails frequently. We may send it and he may not see it for 1 month.
Okay. Okay.
So we should formalize a group and then apply for registration of the trust. It may take its own time, doesn't matter. Those are legalities which will happen, but I should have an intention. First we should have an intention and a convergence that yes, this is something worth doing. If we agree, then nature will take care. That's all right. If our volition is pure, if the time is right, things will happen. They'll fall in place. It will always happen like that. And it may happen quickly, it may happen delayed, whatever. So what?
It may not happen.
It may not happen now. It may happen after 100 years. Who knows? You never know. And it may happen within a year, 1 year. It's not really, it's highly unpredictable. It's good like that. You should take it as a adventure, a Dhamma adventure, which Arpan is taking up anyway.
The whole concept is excellent and does require efforts. That is without doubt.
Yeah.
So, for forming the group, we'll need to inform people.
Yeah, these are the people. We start with a small group, then we'll extend it in due course.
Okay.
So
So right
we-
now, that's what I was saying. So we're not planning to advertise it. Right
कुछ
now.
है ही नहीं एडवर्टाइज कर
एडवर्टाइज करना कुछ है ही नहीं हमारे पास। इंटेंशन को क्या एडवर्टाइज करेंगे?
बट दैट्स मे बी व्हाट दीपक इज सजेस्टिंग इसके जो जिनको ये ईमेल जाती है
सामने को
मे बी
उनको तो मैंने कल भेज
भेज ही दिया, मेरे को
हाँ।
चला ही गया। और जो लोग उपलब्ध हैं वो अपने, जो लोग हैं अभी वो अपनी इंटेंशन बता दें। वुड दे बी willing to be included in the names? Will Sudhakar and Deepthi be willing to that their names be included in the first trust formation as members? That's all. Rest things we'll do. We're first starting, and then as the word spreads, we'll see those people who are willing, they'll join. We have our own other friends whom we can share with word of mouth. कई लोग हैं जो अजान सुमेदो के इम्प्रेस्ड हैं उनसे, और भी लोग हैं बहुत सारे, वो बता देंगे भाई अगर इंटरेस्ट है तुम्हारा तो ठीक है, कम ऑन जॉइन अस। बट आई थिंक स्मॉल ग्रुप इन द बिगिनिंग इज एनफ। शुरू तो हो, जब कुछ आगे बढ़ेगी बात तब देख लेंगे। When we need more finance or when we need more hands, then we can, hands will also come. I have a belief in the natural processes.
कल जैसे कोई आए थे वो कैसे बता रहे थे? कल कोई मतलब आए थे
पता नहीं किसने गुजरात से एक टीचर ने फ़ोन किया कि एक सज्जन आपसे मिलना चाहता हूँ कि आपसे मिले। उन्होंने एक शिविर किया है, बट ही इज़ अ वेरी नोबल पर्सन, ही हैज़ डन लॉट ऑफ वर्क इन ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग, दिस दैट। ठीक है, मिले 2-3 घंटे
बहुत कुछ हो गया, पर उन्होंने जितना अपना एक दर्जन के शिविर में जो बन गया है।
उनको कुछ डाउट था, आपने कहा बैठ जाओ, ध्यान कर लेते हैं। ध्यान किया, मैं डाउट क्लियर हो गया।
हाँ, is it?
अब क्या है?
नहीं, मैं ये कह रही हूँ फाइनेंस पर कह रही हूँ। उन्होंने जैसे कहा कि भाई मेरे पास कोई कमाई नहीं है, अपने आप मेरे को जब टाइम आता है मेरे पास पैसे आ जाते हैं। मैं इस फाइनेंस की बात कर रही हूँ कि जब
I have experienced that innumerable times myself.
इसने तो इतने पैसे इकट्ठे किए हैं उसने अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए, क्या तो आर्मी है पैसे इकट्ठे करने।
किसी की कोई पार्मी, किसी की कोई पार्मी है।
So I am not so worried about that for that
I'm
reason.
actually not worried about anything.
Anything, yeah.
I wish that we do an effort. That's all. It may succeed, not succeed. In either case, it will be our training. If it succeeds, that will be our training. If it doesn't succeed, that also will be our training. कि भाई हम क्षमता में रह पाते हैं कि नहीं रह पाते।